What's up world, Blacked Out Jeep Wrangler here. If you guys have noticed, we got a brand new intro. I thought change is good, so let's just change it up a little bit. I got the details below of both the artists that created these amazing segments, from the animation to the actual video clips. So I thought, why not just combine both the clips together and make something awesome for you guys. So without further ado, we're gonna start the Q&A session. You guys have dropped in some amazing questions under my video on YouTube and have hit me up on Instagram and commented below the post that I put up there. So there's a lot of questions. We're gonna try to get to all of them. This should be a lot of fun. Let's get this going. So the first question is by Arcade Fever, asking, hello, what do you think about the new JL? Are you planning on buying one in the future? If yes, why? Well, I think the JL is moving with the times. A lot of people do not like the JL, but then a lot of people did not like the JK after the TJ and YJ, and then everyone loved the JK. So for the haters, they're gonna hate right now, but then they're gonna love, because this guy is outdated with all the technology. This is my opinion, guys. If you guys have driven a BMW, a Mercedes, anything that has a lot of bells and whistles, this thing is outdated. I'm sorry, guys, compared to the JL. So I love the JL. I think it is an amazing step up. It is with today's times. It is for our kids and the next generation of the future. You will have some old school kids that are going to be still driving the JKs and the TJs and the YJs, but I honestly think the JL is amazing. Would I buy one right now? No, because I love the setup that I have behind me over here. I love all the mods I've done. I love all the modifications and accessories and the way I've built it up. So I don't see myself buying one in the near future, but you just never know. I mean, I think it would be a great idea to buy a JL, start a brand new build for you guys on YouTube, and yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know, but if I win the lottery or something, I might just end up buying a JL and keeping this JK. Moving to the next question. Sahaj Rhodes, hello, I bought a Jeep Wrangler JK this February and I got 33-inch tires on it, and whenever I have a passenger and groceries in the trunk, my rear fenders rub against the tires whenever a bump on the road comes. What should I do instead of a lift? All right, it hits the fenders and it seems like whatever's happening is happening near the back. So these are the things that you can do. Number one is you can put spacers on. That will fix your issue. The second option is changing your rims. If you change your rims to have like a bigger back spacing behind the rim, then what ends up happening is the wheels will jut out a little bit more, causing less friction and rubbing against your fenders. Another suggestion would be getting flat fenders. I'm not sure if you have flat fenders, but if you don't, I would suggest investing in something like this. This will also take away any rubbing situation that you have at the back. Michael says, axle and gear upgrades? Not yet. Everything is stock. However, I don't off-road with this Jeep currently. I do hit up some trails, but since I've gotten my 37s, I do not, because it is not wise to. You can crack an axle and you can mess up your Jeep. So I'm trying to be a good YouTuber here that's responsible and tell you guys that, look, you guys want to go off-roading with your 35s or 37s, re-gear or change your axles, do something. If you plan on just city driving and taking your Jeep out only on weekends to grocery stores and visiting family, as I do, then you may be okay with your stock gears and axles, but you will find that your fuel consumption and economy will suck. So I do plan on changing it in the future. It does cost a lot of money, but that would be the responsible and the smart thing to do. Flamed 65, and this person asked, do you ever consider buying a 4Runner? What interested you in a Jeep? Fantastic question. I wanted to answer this guy right there. I've had two 4Runners, buddy. I had a 1995 4Runner and a 1996 4Runner Limited. Yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. I honestly loved it. Unfortunately, I totaled the 1995 model 4Runner that I had. The 1996 was fantastic, but then midlife crisis came about and decided to sell it and buy myself a brand new Mustang at that time. I do miss it. It was fantastic, but not as versatile as this Jeep. The reason I bought this Jeep, second part of your question, is that I had a Dodge Challenger, and that was a 2015. I had it for about 3 months and then found out my wife is having twins. And so there was no way that we could keep 2 baby seats plus a double-sized stroller in the trunk of a Challenger. So I wanted something muscular. Now that you know that I had 2 4Runners, and then I had actually 2 Mustangs, and then I had a Challenger, everything is muscle. So decided to go for a Jeep because I like big, I like muscle, I like statement. Hope that answered your question. DX. And he asks, what do you think about manual transmission Jeeps? Do you think it ruins the point of them? Also, do you know anyone with a manual? I know a lot of people with a manual Jeep, and I don't think it ruins the Jeep at all. In fact, you are gonna get comments underneath this video from the Jeep family and the Jeep following saying that manual is the only way to go. I've not driven a manual Jeep yet. I used to have a BMW as well. It was a 3 Series 6-speed manual, and it was fantastic. Manual is a lot of fun. It really makes you feel like you got full control over the vehicle, and manual transmission is amazing on a Jeep as long as you know how to drive it properly, because a lot of Jeepers do tend on off-roading, and when you are off-roading, it's a different ball game driving standard transmission. This is from Got Swag. I like your username. He asks, or she asks, where do you go for a car wash with 37-inch tires? So I usually do take it through an automatic car wash. If you are local or Canadian, I take it to Petro-Canada. My width of my tires are 12.5 inches, so it just makes it onto the tracks. It does squeak a bit. Another place in Canada, in Toronto here, is the Canadian Tire car wash. There's a fantastic one. The tracks are a little wider, and it does an amazing job as well. Okay, Mohammed asks, what are the top 3 mods on your Jeep? So my top 3 favorite, what's up guys? My top 3 favorite mods on my Jeep are my 37-inch tires, my fender flares, and my lift. I love those 3 the most. Next question is from Scott. He asks, what do you prefer, mud tires or all-terrain? What minimum lift do you recommend for 37s? Great question, great question. The mud terrains look aggressive. I miss that. I have all-terrains now, they don't look as aggressive, but they're quieter on the road, and they're fantastic in ice, snow, and rain. Cause like, I don't know if you can see it right over there. There's piles of snow still, and we're in like end of April, last week of April. So yeah, you know, being in this climate, I find that the all-terrain tires are a lot better. For 37-inch tires, I would say the minimum inch lift you should have is 3.5. It does rub a bit when I turn the steering wheel all the way, especially if the pavement is unpaved or if it is not totally flat. If you go with a 4-inch lift, you probably won't have any rubbing at all whatsoever. So I would say between a 3.5 to 4-inch lift. From Shatzer, what do you think about the new Jeep trucks coming out in 2019? Do I let my wife drive my Jeep? What does she think about it? What's your mileage per gallon? What is the next Jeep upgrade? And if you could buy a new Jeep Wrangler and have all the upgrades you've put on your current one onto your new one for free, would you? Is there anything that you currently don't like about your Jeep? These are amazing questions. I let my wife drive the Jeep. She finds it a bit intimidating though, and she tells me that because of the size, but she drives it really well. The truck, the 2019 truck, I think it's awesome. I honestly think it's awesome. And then trust me, I'm gonna test drive it when it does come out. And who knows? Who honestly knows? Like, you know, to answer your next question, if I got free mods and you know, companies say, hey buddy, I'm gonna give you, buy JL, I got a whole line of JL accessories now. Let's modify your Jeep for free, but you know, let's make some awesome videos promoting me and you. Yeah, I would get a JL. I would get a JL and get all those accessories put onto it. build it up for you guys. I think it would be an amazing video for you guys too to watch. So the next upgrade that I'm going to be doing to my Jeep is, there's a company that's out there, I'm going to be promoting them really well. They've offered me to plasti dip my Jeep, which protects the paint underneath and protects it from rust and all that good stuff. It has about a 2-year lifespan, so we're getting it plasti dipped. I've taken a poll on, I believe, Instagram. I'm not too sure if we did anything on YouTube here though, about what color you guys would like to see. It was satin black or camo green. So stay tuned for that. And finally, miles per gallon. I think it's like around 12 to 13 miles per gallon on my Jeep right now. So not the greatest, but whatever. So this is from G from the 562 or Thay 652, and this person asks, what do you think the best exhaust for the Jeep JK Rubicon is? I'm planning on getting one. Thanks bro, want that V8 sound. All right, Metal Militia is heavy sounds, but I have read reviews about it and they rust like no one's business. No one's happy with the quality of it after a while. It does rust a lot. The next second loudest is the Flowmaster, what I have on my Jeep. It's amazing, it sounds good. After that, the MagnaFlow. MagnaFlow is a little quieter, but the Flowmaster has that V8 sound that you're looking for. As soon as you start it up, it sounds good. As soon as you accelerate, it sounds awesome. Okay, Big Head Wrangler asks, will you ever go off-roading? Will you upgrade your axles, gears, and what about future plans and mods? So, future plans and mods, right now it is going to be plasti dipping the Jeep. Will I ever go off-roading? I've done some trails in the past, a few. But the thing is, I only see my kids on weekends. I only see my family on weekends. You see, when you want to build your Jeep like this, you gotta hustle and you work hard. And so it's like I hardly see my family during the weekdays. So the thing is to get out for like 2-3 hours, maybe more. Let's say 2-3 hours just to get to a destination. Because in Toronto, you don't got much space to go anywhere. So you gotta travel a lot and then get to the place and then go off-roading and then get back. A whole day is gone. And so for me, it's like, you know, I've transitioned into the family man now, but I still try to get some nice videos out for you guys. So if I do go off-roading or just on a trail, it will be something on a blue moon, but I will capture it for you guys, I promise. It's TYACE. This person asks 2 questions actually. Can you run 35s on a 2.5-inch lift? Do you need to regear or change anything if you do go up to 35s? Some people, it's an argumental statement that you do and you don't have to regear. If you do regear, you're going to be saving on gas, but there are some people that don't regear on 35s. So it's your discretion. You can go on some forums, read, and then decide for yourself. 2.5-inch lift is the minimum that you can have for 35s. I was running 2.5-inch with my 35s, and then I had rubbing. And so then I put spacers on my rims, and that took away the rubbing. Either spacers or a deeper rim offset would help from your rubbing situation on 2.5s. But if you go with 3 or 3.5-inch lift, you should be perfect. So this question is by David Hood. He asked, is manual okay to drive in heavy rush hour traffic? Is the clutch heavy or light? That's where I do most of my driving, because I'm thinking auto is the way to go, but advice on gas mileage appreciated. Okay, so manual transmission is amazing on gas. It's way better on gas. In traffic, it's a pain. For the guys that are watching this that have manual Jeeps, which are a lot of you, maybe you can comment below and let us know how the clutch is and how it is driving in rush hour. Yeah, this is an amazing question from CZ or Keezy, and they ask about car wash and rain. How do you keep the rain out of your engine bay with the hood that I have on? Well, honestly speaking, yeah, you know what? These vents are functional and water and rain do seep into the engine bay. However, I haven't had much issue with it. The best part is that if you want to protect a certain area, protect the fuse box and the battery area, because you do see some corrosion over some time, and what I end up doing is taking those little fuses out, rubbing some Vaseline around there, and then sticking it back in. And yeah, that's how I deal with it. Okay, so Tombstone Dreams asks an amazing question, or it's like a request. You have a JL and looking for a JL light bar accessories, so light bar brackets and all that stuff. So far we know that the light bar brackets on the JK will not fit on the JL just because of the slope of the windshield, plus the way that the frame of the windshield is, the bolts and all that stuff. It's a whole different ball game. So I promise I'll let you know. I'm going to talk to my guys, and as soon as some accessories do come out, I will keep you posted. Prince Pete asks, I've got a 2016 Sahara 321 drivetrain and 2.5-inch AEV lift with 35s. Am I safe to roll like this? I just ride on the road. Yeah, you're safe. You're just riding on the road, you're fine. 35s are fine. A lot of people do 35s with stock gear ratios. The only thing you're gonna suffer from is gas mileage, which you probably already feel a bit. But again, you mentioned the key note, and the key word is that you are mainly keeping on the streets, so it's fine. It's totally safe. Shadar asks an interesting question. If not a Wrangler, what truck or car would have I gone with? What would you say is the best Jeep alternative? Okay, so it kind of answered some of your questions in a previous question. So I would definitely go with a Dodge Challenger because that's what I had last, and I miss it, and it was fantastic. An alternative to this guy over here, well, a lot of people would probably have a different answer than what I have because this is my personal opinion here, but the H1 or the H2 Hummer is definitely versatile and American and heavy duty. And if you want to go with an Asian counterpart, I would say like a Toyota 4Runner or the FJ Cruiser. See, those things are actually made for off-roading as well, and the desert and rock climbing as well. There goes a Jeep. Also, I love the G-Wagon. The G-Wagon looks amazing by Mercedes. It's a box and it's an element of its own, so I think that's pretty cool as well. Sumetsu, I believe, and I apologize if I did not pronounce it properly over here. But hey man, a big fan of your videos. I've always been very curious of what trim level you should pick when you're not doing much off-roading. Still really love modifying your Jeep Wrangler because I have a Wrangler Unlimited Sport, which I have modified a lot, but I always wish I had a better trim level. Alright, so I have a Sahara, and Sahara is honestly good. If you're not huge into off-roading, but you just want to modify something and have a nice luxury package, then the Sahara. You know, your GPS, your entertainment system, leather seats is something you could get. Plus the fenders, the original fenders in most or 99.9% of Saharas are paint matched to match your body. And sometimes if you're lucky, you can also get your hardtop to match your body color as well. So it has a lot more options, you know, like the running board. So Sahara is definitely the most luxurious Jeep that they have between the three, the Sport, Sahara, and the Rubicon. The phone keeps on freezing here. I don't know if it's because of the cold. Thagirian. She asks if I've ever considered a road trip with my Jeep to another province or a US state. She actually wrote it down here and I didn't see it. So it's actually Thagirian. Thank you. So I thought about doing a road trip across Canada. So like from, you know, Ontario to BC to Vancouver, or going down to Florida. That sounds pretty interesting. So just a straight road all the way down south. There's Jeep Beach that's going on right now. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. But yeah, I would definitely consider doing a trip. And you are down south in Florida too, right? So yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I'll keep you posted if I do something and we'll document it. Lawrence asks what's my favorite pizza topping? Cheese. And if it's not cheese, it's pepperoni. So Dan asks that when I changed my muffler, did it also help on gas? I'm not sure. You know what it is that I tend on now gunning it more because it sounds nice. And so I probably end up using more gas than I should be. Okay, Diana asks, how much did I end up paying for my Jeep? Did you get it brand new? Yes, I got it brand new. I got it brand new in 2015. And I bought it for 48,000 Canadian. I repeat, Canadian dollars. I know in the US it's a lot cheaper. I believe this was taxes in and like everything out the door. Aries asks, what are the laws about going doorless in Ontario? I had to look this one up. It is fine. It is not illegal. However, you need to have mirrors. Your rear view mirror, and to be safe, you should put on side view mirrors. Do have side view mirrors that are just one of those portable ones that you can get on from GTA Jeeps or any other Jeep store in your area. They sell them, it's easy to put on, just to be safe. But that's the law for Ontario. Because Alessandro asks about a certain question, and that is, how do I keep my tires so shining black? Because sometimes there's brown stains on them. So the thing is, I use Armor All. That's really nice. It's a spray, and that's all I do is just spray that Armor All spray around the tires, and it does the trick pretty well. Yeah, I try to baby this Jeep a bit. Okay, so this question is from Amadi. I guess they're in the market for a Jeep Wrangler as a daily driver and wanted to try off-road, never did it before. Do you go with the JLU or JKU? And what if I can get into a Rubicon JK for the same price as a JL Sport? There's quite a few nice videos out there on YouTube with the JLU, rock climbing stuff. It is super capable. They've also adjusted, it's another Jeep. They've also adjusted the fenders on the JLU so they're a little more flat and a lot more versatile for off-roading. You're not gonna bang your tire up into the fender well. But if you are getting a Rubicon JK for the same price as a JL Sport, if you're planning on doing off-roading and gonna get big into it, then get the Rubicon. The Rubicon is top of the line, and it's a JK, and JKs are still really good. You know what I would suggest is take a test drive. Take a test drive of the JL, take a test drive of the JK, feel how they both drive, and then from there, make up your mind. So we're gonna hit up the Instagram questions now. Okay, so Mr. Menz on Instagram asks, how is the Jeep on 37s? You have a 3-inch or 3.5 inch on the lift, and how is rough country lift overall? Okay, so I'm happy with rough country. This is the Series 2, so they must have done some improvements because I haven't really noticed any sagging. Second of all, it's really comfortable on as a daily driver. When I am in the city, it doesn't feel rough at all, rough country. And I've taken it on a mud pit and it's been pretty good. Also, I have a 3.5 inch lift with my 37-inch tires, so that's how that is. Next question is by MJDMV. What is the cheapest and most expensive modification on your Jeep? That is a fantastic question. So the most expensive is the lift, all right? Because honestly, you end up spending with labor and all that stuff about the same amount or more than what you actually paid for the lift. And the cheapest mod that I've probably done is maybe the door handle inserts, possibly, would be the cheapest. Paola or Paul, I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced your name properly, Paula or Paola, I'm really sorry. Asks, how much money, if you could guess, have you put into your Jeep? I actually have a video out about that. You can check it out. I've put about $11,000 worth of accessories on my Jeep, not including labor, not including tax. And that's Canadian, guys, Canadian. So again, if you guys in America, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. Okay, so Porsche 911993 asks on Instagram, what is your favorite Jeep mod? I don't know, man. I'm kind of stuck between the tires and the lift. Because honestly, I'm glad I did both of them. But it's either the lift or the tires, honestly. Alright, going on to the next one. How do you maintain gas consumption, fuel efficiency? So this person is slapped on 35 with a 3-inch lift, and you obviously see the gas consumption dropping. So honestly speaking, it's hard, but you know what, not gunning it and going easy on the pedal. Also, if you can re-gear, it will really return your gas mileage back to factory, even with the big ass tires that you have. Lance Skills asks, what's your favorite thing on your Jeep? Oh man, you guys all ask the same questions. I love the hood too, actually. You can't just choose one, it's hard. Well, that was it, guys. So hands are frozen, and this was really fun. I enjoyed answering all your questions. I hope it was informative. I hope you guys gained something out of this, and I hope you guys can take something home from this. So remember, Jeep, just empty every pocket. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.